Well, this morning, our Travel Tuesday is becoming more of a Tariff Tuesday. And as we wait for new rates to go into effect Friday, everyday consumers are wondering how it'll impact their lives, including what it'll mean when they travel. Joining me now is CBS travel editor Peter Greenberg. Peter, great to see you.
Good morning, Dana.
All right, tariffs on about 100 countries are coming Friday, unless something changes. How do you think this will play out for travelers? What will travelers notice right away? What might surprise them?
Well, you may not notice it right away, but they'll have a serious financial impact, for example, on airlines in terms of spare parts, maintenance items, things that are imported from overseas, whether it's tires or landing gear parts, or replacement parts for other components of the plane. That's number one. Number two, it all gets down to the strength of the U.S. dollar as well as just the tariffs as to how the U.S. dollar is going to fare with these new tariffs against other foreign currencies like the euro and other currencies that have been devalued over the past that may find additional strength now in the wake of the tariffs. So nothing we're going to see right away, but we are, within the next 2 to 3 weeks, we'll start to see some incremental rise in a lot of those prices that'll be passed on in the form of maybe higher airfares.
Something to keep in mind if you're planning a trip for months down the road. Now, Delta Airlines is testing new AI software to set prices, but the jury, of course, still out on whether it'll actually save travelers money. 3 U.S. senators wrote, quote, prices could be dictated not by supply and demand, but by individual need. Meanwhile, Delta says about 20% of its domestic fares could be AI generated by the end of the year. What do you make of all of this? Because I'll tell you what, it all just confuses me.
Well, I'm going to try to end the confusion. First of all, Delta is now pushing back, saying they're not really going to do it. However, there are a lot of companies saying that they are doing it for a number of airlines. And it gets down to this. We used to go based on, as you said, price based on demand and supply. You'd see a posted price on the website. That's what you would try to pay if you could get the low fare. Now it's a shell game because under AI, once you get online to make a reservation, they already know a lot about you. You put in your frequent flyer number. They know your purchasing patterns. They know your travel patterns. They know where you flew last year. They knew where you flew last week. They knew who you flew with, what day of the week. All of that will figure in to what price they think you'll want to pay or will actually tolerate paying. What's your pain point of price? And so what they're basically saying is they're especially waiting. And all these other airlines are basically looking at a number of increasing their revenue about 20% based on what they think Dana's going to pay or what Peter's going to pay. And now what the senators are raising issues about data privacy and about discrimination in pricing. And for the moment, people who are very worried about that may not want to put in their frequent flyer number when they make a reservation. They may want to go to a VPN or go incognito on their computer or sign in as a guest, because the more information they have about you, the more they're able to do their dynamic pricing and price it according to what they think you'll be able to tolerate.
Oh my gosh, that is a lot to digest, and it could be really worrisome too. All right, CBS travel editor Peter Greenberg, thank you so much. As always, hopefully we'll see you next week.
You got it, Dana.